What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Today we gotta go get this freaking mop fixed, and also I figured let's do some point of view driving with the newly whippled Mustang. And also this literally $3 part basically screwed me and left me on the side of the road stranded for about an hour. So we'll talk about that. I'll show you guys what I was talking about, and just keep this in mind if you ever boost your car or if you ever do anything. I guess adding more fuel gives you a little hint, and I'll kind of give you guys the tips that I learned along the way, because you don't want to miss this step and then be stranded like I was. I got kind of lucky, but yeah, I'll show you guys what we're talking about. One of the things I've noticed though is that on the cold starts, this thing is way more loud because of, I guess, all the air that goes through with the superchargers. So I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys up, and you'll just hear how loud it rumbles whenever you do a cold start. It's pretty crazy. Although it does make a lot of loud noises in the beginning, it seems like it comes down to normal idle pretty quick. But yeah, it's definitely got a lot of bass. It's also really dusty. You can kind of see there, it's like got the little dust marks. But we're gonna let it warm up for a bit, and then we'll head to go get this haircut and drive with you guys. But yeah, whew. She definitely dumps some fuel whenever you do the cold starts. We'll say we will probably need some gas because we're at a quarter tank, and we don't want to be riding around low on gas with a boosted car. You don't want it to suck in any air or just be on the lower side whenever you're trying to do a pull. So dang it, we always need gas in this car, it feels like, especially now with the Whipple. It does affect your fuel mileage, but it's all about miles per gallon, if you know what I'm saying. If you daily this car, expect to end up filling it a lot more, especially if you're on E85. I heard that just makes it drop even more, but even just on 91, you could tell this thing is just sucking down the fuel. Oh man, that's what I didn't want to have happen. We are running into some rain, and it looks quite dark over there. Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy, and this is just a little light sprinkle, because this car in the rain, I haven't tested it yet, but in the dry, it doesn't even get traction. So I can only imagine in the rain. But yeah, we'll see. Also, quite a bit of traffic out day after Christmas. Everybody traveling. And just like that, we have the haircut, and it's looking pretty good. It's a little wet, so you see it a little spiky looking, and you know I got that matte look. Just in case any of you guys wanted to know what my haircut is, basically you asked for a high fade, a bald fade. So this is actually all bald, basically down to the skin, and they use the little foil thing that makes the loud noise. You know, they use the foil tip. And yeah, he just fades it all the way up, and my boy Juan, he hooked it up. And they also straight razor my neck and my beard here, and he just trims it with scissors. So really, he just knows every single time it's pretty much the same, and he's gotten really good at it. Also, I like the squared off look. I don't like the rounded off look or the mushroom top. So that's something else I asked for, but he carries it all the way around to the back. The whole back right here is basically naked. Ooh, some Harleys going by. The whole back is basically naked, so I can feel the wind whenever we get done, especially now in the winter time. But yeah, in the summertime, you have to have it nice and short, so that way you just don't sweat your butt off and all of your hair gets all in your face and all that. So now it's nice and dialed in. Let's go back on the drive, and let's talk about the stupid little thing that left me on the side of the road for an hour the other night when it was freezing cold, waited for a tow truck and all that. So let's get into that story real quick. We have the classic GoPro point of view, so let's go ahead and throw it on. And turn on the car, plug in for music that we won't listen to because copyright. Jeez, okay, so the GoPro literally stopped recording. Oh my gosh, that was so annoying. The GoPro literally stopped recording. Okay, the GoPro is kind of making me mad here because it just stopped recording as I did that pull. And I was telling you guys that we're gonna basically blow the tires off, and we did a little pull to get up to speed on the freeway, and it didn't even freaking record that. Oh, the GoPro, man. This is how you know it's been a while. I haven't been in the game for a second. We're gonna go for the pass. That's the one thing though with the GoPro, or not the GoPro, the Whipple, you have plenty of instant torque to get up and around people. So that's what we did. I was tired of sitting behind a U-Haul truck, and we got up into this clear air, or clean air as they would say. So let's get back to the story. Actually, it was around here that it happened. So what had happened was is a Challenger went to go ahead and pass me, and I couldn't let that happen. So I downshifted, did a little pull on him, and I'm talking put freight trains on him, and then the car had zero throttle response. It threw the wrench light on my instrument cluster. It had zero throttle, nothing was going. So I had to put on the hazards and pull over, and this probably made the Challenger guy laugh his butt off, which is rightfully so, because he just watched this thing just stop after I was so cocky trying to do a pull on him. Well, I pull over, I sit there, and I'm like, dude, what the heck? I pull out my code reader. It mentions like all these injector codes, so I have zero fuel. I go to try to start it, it's doing a long crank. So basically, it's not getting fuel at all. It's just a long crank. So I call up Jason. I go, hey, dude, these are the codes. What's happening here? He said, oh, it's got to be something with the circuit. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we had that issue with the booster pump. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, is something else wrong with the booster pump? Is something else just missing a wire or something? I thought we had this all figured out. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to figure it out. I pull up my fuse box. I'm trying to look everything on the diagram. I'm pulling fuses that I have taps, and I'm like, none of these are blown. I'm thinking really like, God, there's got to be a wiring issue, or something is just so jacked up with my wiring. So that happened, right? I'm sitting there waiting for a tow truck at this point, because I'm like, it's 30 degrees out. I can't feel my fingertips. I'm trying to like pull these fuses without a fuse puller. It hurts. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I have AAA. It's a free tow. It just takes time. Let's go ahead and get it towed. I call them up, try to get it towed. They said, okay, within the next hour. I'm like, that sucks. Oh, well, we have signal. We're going to watch something on our phones, just waiting. Because I do have my girlfriend in the passenger seat this entire time. So she's being cool about it. She's like, oh yeah, no big deal. We'll watch something on Netflix until they come. She's freezing. I know she is. She doesn't want to say it, but she was freezing. And we're sitting there, and I'm like, oh, it just will not leave my mind. I'm trying to veg out and watch a show on Netflix just to get my mind off of it, because she's like, you know what? It's no big deal. Once you get to the garage, it really will be an easy fix. You just need to have your tools and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, yeah, but you know me, my inner voice just will not shut up about it. So I try and think of all the different things it might be. So I pull up my fuse diagram again. I'm looking at every single fuse. So I'm like, we're stuck. It's been about 45 minutes to an hour. There's still zero tow truck that has accepted my request on AAA. So we're not even accepted yet. A tow truck is not en route after about an hour, which they said it would take to get the tow truck there. So I just start pulling every single fuse. I'm like, you know what? My fingertips hurt, but screw it. And I don't know if you guys could see it, but there's a blood blister there because I was literally pulling every single fuse. Actually, right there where that Honda was basically where I was pulled over. And apparently that's a high traffic breakdown spot because it takes forever to get a tow truck there. But anyways, I pull every single fuse, and it turns out it's this very specific fuse. I think it's fuse 13 that blew. And I'll talk about that once we pull over, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. This might save your butt if you're ever supercharging your car and you run into this issue. The car is super dirty, I know, but it's in the fuse box. So right here, you might see that green 30 amp right there on the other side of this tap. That is fuse number 13. As I was saying, it's kind of all alone. And then you see the other one here. That empty one, or that one that has the tap, was actually for my heated seats. So this is for my, I think, my headlights. So this is for heated seats that I don't have because I have a base model. So I use that for my for my headlights. But see that green 30 amp? That actually came in the kit for the booster pump that I did not put in there. So it was a 20 amp and I blew it. That's what had me stranded on the side of the road, was a 20 amp, which when I asked Steve over at Paramount about that, what he basically said was that whenever you have the fuel pump and it's getting all that extra fuel and you go to shift, or sometimes you don't use all of it and it gets kind of like pressured, then it'll blow that fuse. So in my booster pump kit, it came in a little baggie and it was 130 amp. And I was like, what the hell is this for? I don't need that. So I just left it and kept it on my toolbox because you never know when you're gonna need a fuse. And it turns out that's what that's for. So I figured it out by doing some research and talking to Steve. And actually it was one of Steve's old posts on Anything Coyote like 4 years ago that explained that. And that's how I knew about it. So yeah, other than that though, at first I thought I threw a belt, which would have been catastrophic because I need tools to be able to change that, especially because I have the MFP crank support on there. And yeah, everything actually was just that little fuse. So it's all these little things that whenever you do this big of a mod to your car, it's all the little things and the kinks that you're working out and figuring out, and that's really where we're at. So after this, it should be dialed in, and after that, it really hasn't given me any issues, and now I can go ahead and play with it and really rip on it. But I think, hoping that we're on a conservative tune here, talked to the guy at Lund, he said you can go race it. He understands what my setup is, and he said basically you're good to go. And obviously eventually we'll add some more power, but that will be long down the road whenever I can afford a built engine and the downtime and all that. But that would be cool. I don't know, 1,000 horsepower maybe in the future. It's very hard to use on the street. This is really ideal for the street because you can still roll into the throttle without absolutely just blowing the tires off, but I can blow the tires off when I need to. So that's the cool factor of this kit and where it's at. Old school Dodge Dakota that had to get pulled over for some help there. Hopefully he's not stranded. Oh look, that guy's helping him out. That's good, because I don't have any tools on me, and that's probably his work truck that might have some tools. But yeah. God, I just love how you can, if you wanted to, blow the tires off, no big deal. But if you don't want to, then it drives pretty much stock. That's the beauty of the Whipple kit, especially at this level. I mean, that was very low in the RPMs that it sent that. And that's what I like about it, is that it can just do it when you want it to. So spin, but you can roll into it and it'll kind of hook. So that's the beauty, is you can drive it how you want. If you have 1,000 horsepower like somebody that we know on YouTube, all you're gonna do is spin, and that is not the fun thing to do. I mean, it's fun for a bit, but you can't really go fast. So I'm gonna roll into it. God, Jesus, it is so fast. We got a 392 right there, but way too much traffic. So we're not gonna be able to have any fun. I do wanna get some kills under my belt on this car, but we do need to be safe, and there's too much traffic. So obviously this is street too, so we can't do anything too crazy. All we're doing is getting up to speed for the freeway. I'll be posting out more videos. I actually have a crap load of parts that are just sitting in my office that I need to install on both my car and my mom's car. So expect those, because I should have a couple of days off here, and I'm gonna try to bang those out for you guys as much as I can. So expect a lot more content. But like I said, gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please comment, like, and subscribe. And you already know, I'll catch you guys next time.